Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to the Splendour Hub. Daily Dawn News Vocabulary with Urdu meanings. Shamble. Shamble is a verb meaning लड़खड़ाते हुए चलना. Of a person, move with a slow, shuffling, awkward gait. Example, he shambled off down the corridor. Synonyms: shuffle, lumber, loiter, dooder, stumble. Antonyms: run, sprint, pound, dapper. Shamble mean लड़खड़ाते हुए चलना. Perpetual is adjective meaning दायमी हमेशा, never ending or changing. Example, deep caves in perpetual darkness. Synonyms: everlasting, never ending, eternal, permanent. Antonym: transitory, temporary, intermittent. Intrusion is a noun meaning मुदाखलतकारी खलल अंदाजी, the action of intruding. Example, he was furious about this intrusion into his private life. Synonyms: encroachment on, trespass on, obstruction into, invasion of. Antonyms: withdrawal. Abdicate is a verb meaning दस्तबरदार होना, तख्त छोड़ना. Of a monarch renounce one's throne. Example, in 1918 Kaiser Wilhelm abdicated as German emperor. Synonyms of abdicate is resign, retire, quit, stand down, step down. Antonyms of abdicate is be crowned, accede to. Capitulate is a verb meaning हवाले कर देना, मशरूत तौर पर हथियार डालना. Cease to resist an opponent or an unwelcome demand, yield. Example, the patriots had to capitulate to the enemy forces. Synonyms of capitulate: surrender, give in, yield, admit defeat, concede defeat. Antonyms of capitulate is resist, hold out. Autocrat. Autocrat is a noun meaning Jabir Hukmran, a ruler who has absolute power. Example, like many autocrats, Franco found the exercise of absolute power addictive. Synonyms of autocrat: absolute ruler, dictator, despot, tyrant, monocrat. Antonyms of autocrat: democrat, collaborator, consensus builder. Hate monger. Hate monger is a noun नफरत भड़काने वाला, a person who promotes hostility and prejudice especially towards a minority group. Example, he says he is no hate monger and does not promote violence. Synonyms of hate monger is agitator, provoker, inciter, instigator. Antonyms of hate monger is peacemaker, mediator, conciliator. Contiguous is adjective meaning mulhik mutasil, sharing a common border, touching. Example, the Southern Ocean is contiguous with the Atlantic. Synonyms of contiguous: adjacent, neighboring, adjoining, bordering. Antonyms of contiguous: distant. Decelerate. Decelerate is a verb रफ्तार कम करना, आहिस्ता. Reduce or cause to reduce in speed. Example, the train began to decelerate. Synonyms of decelerate: slow down, slow up, slow, go slower, ease up. Antonyms of decelerate: accelerate. Imply is a verb इशारा करना, indicate the truth or existence of something by suggestion rather than explicit reference. Example, Now, here in the abstract, do the researchers imply a causal link? Synonyms of imply: implicit, indirect, hinted, suggested, insinuated. Antonyms of imply: explicit, direct. Agony is a noun meaning aziyat, taklif, curb, extreme physical or mental suffering. Example: he crashed to the ground in agony. Synonyms of agony: pain, hurt, suffering, torture, torment, anguish. Antonyms of agony: contentment, happiness, joy, comfort. Callous. Callous is adjective. Callous meaning sakht, bedard, showing or having an insensitive and cruel disregard for others. Example: his callous comments about the murder made me shiver. Synonyms of callous: heartless, unfeeling, uncaring, cold, cold hearted. Antonyms of callous: kind, compassionate. Inadequate. Inadequate is adjective meaning na kafi, thoda, lacking the quality or quantity required, insufficient for a purpose. Example: these labels prove to be wholly inadequate. Synonyms of inadequate: insufficient, not enough, deficient, poor, scant. Antonyms of inadequate: adequate, sufficient, competent. Unconscionable. Unconscionable is adjective meaning bezamir, beasul, not right or reasonable. Example: the unconscionable conduct of his son. Synonyms of unconscionable: unethical, immoral, immoral, unprincipled. Antonyms of unconscionable: ethical, acceptable. Interim. Interim is a noun, aburi, darmiyani arsa, the intervening time. Example: the interim I will just keep my fingers crossed. Synonyms of interim: meantime, meanwhile, intervening time, interval. Antonyms of interim: permanent. Adherence. Adherence is a noun meaning perokari, parvi, vabastagi, attachment or commitment to a person, cause, or belief. Example: a strict adherence to etiquette. Synonyms of adherence: compliance, conformity, devotion, fidelity, loyalty. Antonyms of adherence: rebellion, defiance, disobedience. Protract. Protract is a verb तूल देना, बढ़ाना, तवील करना. Prolong. Example: he had certainly taken his time, even protracting the process. Synonyms of protract: prolong, extend, extend the duration of stretch out. Antonyms of protract: curtail, shorten. Predatory. Predatory is adjective meaning मफाद प्रस्त, लूट मार करने वाला, of an animal preying naturally on others. Example: predatory birds. Synonyms of predatory: predaceous, carnivorous, hunting, raptorial, ravening. Antonyms of predatory: unaggressive, confined, herbivorous. Intrinsic. Intrinsic is adjective meaning asli, pedaishi, belongings naturally, essential. Example: access to the arts is intrinsic to a high quality of life. Synonyms of intrinsic: inherent, innate, inborn, inbred, congenital. Antonyms of intrinsic: extrinsic, acquired. Ambiguity. Ambiguity is a noun meaning abham, ghair wazeh, the quality of being open to more than one interpretation, inexactness. Example: We can detect no ambiguity in this section of the Act. Synonyms of ambiguity: ambivalence, equivocation, obscurity, vagueness. Antonyms of ambiguity: unambiguousness, transparency. Qualm. Qualm is a noun meaning पस्ती, बेहतर तबीयत महसूस ना होना. An uneasy feeling of doubt, worry, or fear, especially about one's own conduct, a misgiving. Example: military regimes generally have no qualms about controlling the press. Synonyms of qualm: misgiving, doubt, reservation, second thought, worry. Antonyms of qualm: confidence. Ancillary. Ancillary is an adjective meaning maawan, madadgar, imdadi. In addition to something else but not as important. Example: paragraph 19 was merely ancillary to paragraph 16. Synonyms: additional, auxiliary, supporting, helping, assisting. Antonyms of ancillary: unsportive, misconstruction, essential. Demerit. Demerit is a noun meaning nuks khami, a fault or disadvantage. Example: the merits and demerits of these proposals. Synonyms of demerit: flaw, shortcoming, disadvantage, weakness, drawback. Antonyms of demerit: merit, virtue, advantage, strength. Extensive. Extensive is an adjective meaning वसी, दूर तक फैला हुआ, covering or affecting a large area. Example: an extensive garden. Synonyms of extensive: large, large scale, sizable, substantial, considerable. Antonyms of extensive is small. Exhaustive. Exhaustive is an adjective. Mukammal or jam is a meaning including or considering all elements or aspects, fully comprehensive. Example: the guide outlines every bus route in exhaustive detail. Synonyms of exhaustive is comprehensive, all inclusive, complete, full, full scale. Antonyms of exhaustive is perfunctory, incomplete. Thwart. Thwart is a verb. Ada, tircha, nakam is a meaning. Prevent someone from accomplishing something. Example: he never did anything to thwart his father. Synonyms of thwart: foil, frustrate, balk, stand in the way of, forestall, scotch. Antonyms of thwart is assist, facilitate. Hasty. Hasty is an adjective meaning जल्दबाजी से तेज मिजाज. Done with excessive speed or urgency, hurried. Example of hasty is a hasty attempt to defuse the situation. Synonyms of hasty is quick, hurried, fast, swift, rapid, speedy. Antonyms of hasty is slow, considered. Continuation. Continuation is a noun meaning tasalsul, jari rehna. The action of carrying something on over time or the state of being carried on. Example of continuation: the continuation of discussions about a permanent peace. Synonyms of continuation is carrying on, continuance, prolongation, protraction. Antonyms of continuation and cessation. Labyrinthine. Labyrinthine is an adjective meaning पेचीदा, उलझा हुआ, of a network like a labyrinth, irregular and twisting. Example of labyrinthine is labyrinthine streets and alleys. Synonyms of labyrinthine is maze-like, winding, twisting, serpentine, meandering, wandering. Antonyms of labyrinthine: straightforward, simple. Emancipation. Emancipation is a noun meaning rihai, nijat, azadi. The fact or process of being set free from legal, social, or political restrictions, liberation. Example of emancipation is the social and political emancipation of women. Synonyms of emancipation: freeing, liberation, liberating, setting free, release. Antonyms of emancipation is enslavement, slavery. Commemorate. Commemorate is a verb meaning यादगारी, याद मनाना, recall and show respect for someone or something. Example of commemorate is a wreath-laying ceremony to commemorate the war dead. Synonyms of commemorate is celebrate, pay tribute to, pay homage to, honor, salute, toast. Antonyms of commemorate is disregard, forget, ignore. Gaffe. Gaffe is a noun, बेतुकी बात, बेतुकी हरकत, an unintentional act or remark causing embarrassment to its originator, a blunder. Example of gaffe: in my first few months at work, I made some real gaffes. Synonyms of gaffe: blunder, mistake, error, slip, indiscretion, impropriety. Antonyms of gaffe is precision, accuracy, correctness. Ghastly. Ghastly is an adjective meaning खौफनाक, डरावना, भयानक, causing great horror or fear. Example of ghastly: one of the most ghastly crimes ever committed. Synonyms of ghastly is terrible, frightful, horrible, grim, awful, dire, frightening, terrifying, horrifying. Antonyms of ghastly is pleasant, trivial, excusable. Fringe. Fringe is a noun meaning hudud, शहर का किनारा, the border or outer edges of an area or group. Example of fringe: the southern fringes of the city. Synonyms of fringe: perimeter, periphery, border, borderline, margin, rim, outer edge, edge. Antonyms of fringe: middle. Barbaric is an adjective meaning vahshiyana, savagely cruel. Example of barbaric is he carried out barbaric acts in the name of war. Synonyms of barbaric is cruel, brutal, barbarous, brutish, bestial, savage, vicious, fierce, ferocious. Antonyms of barbaric is benevolent. Magnitude. Magnitude is a noun meaning jisamat, shiddat, wusat, the great size or extent of something. Example of magnitude is they may feel discouraged at the magnitude of the task before them. Synonyms of magnitude is immensity, vastness, hugeness, enormity, enormousness, expanse, size, extent. Antonyms of magnitude is smallness. Whimper. Whimper is a verb meaning faryad, siskiyan, nala karna. Make a series of low, feeble sound expressive of fear, pain, or unhappiness. Example of whimper is a child in a bed nearby began to whimper. Synonyms of whimper is whine, cry, sniffle, snivel, sob, moan, bleat, mewl, wail, groan, grizzle. Antonyms of whimper is crow, delight, rejoice. Potent. Potent is an adjective meaning zordar, baikhtiar, ताकतवर. having great power, influence, or effect. Example of potent is thrones were potent symbols of authority. Synonyms of potent is powerful, strong, vigorous, mighty, formidable, influential, commanding, dominant. Antonyms of potent is weak, important. Vague. Vague is an adjective meaning गैर वाज़े, गैर मुअय्यन, मुबहम, of uncertain, indefinite, or unclear character or meaning. Example of vague is many patients suffer vague symptoms. Synonyms of vague indistinct, indefinite, indeterminate, unclear, hazy, cloudy, fuzzy, misty, lackey definition. Antonyms of vague is clear, precise, firm, sharpness. Incitement. Incitement is a noun meaning uksana, bhadkana, amada. The action of provoking unlawful behavior or urging someone to behave unlawfully. Example of incitement is this amounted to an incitement to commit murder. Synonyms of incitement is edging on, urging, goading, spurring on, motivation, persuasion, inducement, instigation. Antonyms of incitement, suppression, discouragement. Thank you for watching. If you saw any mistake, kindly let me know in the comment box and subscribe my channel for more videos.